Dude, I want to talk about Britney Spears. We
Let's do it.
simply have to talk about this. So for the people that haven't seen, one day ago, Britney Spears posted a 2-photo carousel on her Instagram with the caption, "Free woman energy has never felt better." And she is completely naked, apart from a long pair of white socks. And she has an emoji of a heart over her vagina and a flower over her nipple. And then there's another photo, if you swipe right, there is another photo where she's kind of like wide-legged and with the same emoji setup. So you can go and see this. And it's got nearly 3 million likes, but perhaps unsurprisingly, she turned comments off. What's your thoughts on that, Hamza?
So there's a YouTuber called Alexander Grace. I sent you the link to his YouTube video. He was saying polygamy is going to be the new normal. I watched that one. And he said it in like a fantastic way where he said, imagine if the real feminists of the 1900s saw what was happening today. Like they would think that you were lying. If we told them, oh yeah, by the way, like women are fighting to be more sexualized than ever, to for free post pictures of themselves so that tens of millions of people can see it. The real feminists of the 1900s would think that you were joking. They would think that you were just like mocking them. That this is like, it's the sad state where now I especially think of like the young women and the teenagers who are kind of seeing like their idols post this, and obviously we model after the people that we look up to, and it's kind of like, okay, so in this bizarre counterintuitive way, the modern sort of feminist narrative encourages women more than ever to show off their bodies, to be promiscuous, which is kind of like the counterintuitive aim of the 1900s movement.
Certainly not a linear progression between the two. Dude, the thing that I fucking think, we need to all apologize to her dad and say, look, Dad, maybe you were right. Do you see that court case? Do you see where he was basically, oh, right, okay, so the story seems like Britney Spears' dad had control over her entire life. Like, her estate, which included her back catalogue of records. I think it was like even to do with her finances, how she could spend money. It was pretty severe, right? And it seemed a bit sinister as well, especially the way it was portrayed in the press. I don't know the ins and outs of the court case, but it didn't seem fantastic. But also, Britney's had some challenges mentally in the past, which I think was what had legitimated that in the first place. So anyway, there was this big back and forth. And it was #FreeBritney was going on for ages, right? They wanted to give her life back. And I don't know what the current situation of that is. I feel like she might have got more of her liberty back from her father. But you think, Britney, if this is the first thing that you do after if you post a fully naked selfie twice on Instagram to prove your own sanity and the fact that you don't need your father, I'm like, I don't know if we were right. Save Britney. Maybe save Britney, not free Britney.
I think, to be honest, you and I are looking at this from quite a level-headed perspective, which isn't really the general consensus of the modern world around us. Whereas, okay, so we're looking at this in like a quite critical way, but I think the overwhelming majority of people will see this as a positive act for like feminism and for the act of expressing their sexuality. They'll see like this is a confident thing, like a brave thing to do.
Maybe I have too much faith in humanity, but people can let us know in the comments, right? If you think that what your opinion of this is, whether Britney is liberating herself and experimenting with the sovereignty of her own body and her own social media platform, or if this is somebody that could do with a bit of help and needs a phone call from a friend. Like, it doesn't seem to me. I would be interested to speak to the person that says, like, go Britney after that. And it just seems like a bad PR move as well. You've just come out of a court case where your dad had control of everything because he was worried that you were going to lose your head. And then you... I don't know.
For some people, there's no such thing as bad PR, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, Come on, Britney. It's been a while. How long was, like, her first single? Probably 25 years ago? Or some shit. But that's another interesting thing. We were talking about this offline. What happens when you very quickly gain status? And think about child stars. And here's an interesting one for you, man. Britney Spears, Macaulay Culkin, and Brett Weinstein, Eric Weinstein, Jordan Peterson. people at kind of the opposite ends of life and maturity, but both of which can be just gifted global renown immediately. How the fuck are you supposed to deal with that status? Like, the human brain was not meant to be able to receive international acclaim and be known by millions and millions of people like that.
Honestly, that's why you see so many of these like child celebrities with mental breakdowns. Like, it used to be, in quite a horrifying way, it used to be quite kind of funny to the general population. I think either it was Britney Spears or Madonna or something, like trimmed their head off, their hair off, and everyone was laughing about it and everything. But it's only now, as more, like, as we were saying, like, normal people are starting to get fame, and, you know, you and I are branching into like the dark territory where we're like somewhat normal, somewhat not, and like we can start to see, like, we haven't spoke about this, but you must get some kind of like hate comments every now and then, and it does like mess you up sometimes, because we haven't even fathomed the power of the internet yet. And when you do read a comment, it's in my belief that it feels exactly like a person in front of you saying that. And when we do get like a critical comment from someone, it's this evolutionary thing inside of us that like kicks up, you know, puts us into fight or flight, thinking, okay, if you don't act right, you'll be kicked out of the tribe. Imagine that with 10 people. That's scary. Imagine that with 100. Well, that's life-threatening. Now imagine it with like literally 1 million people. No wonder these guys are like literally taking naked pictures of themselves to like hopefully they get some likes.
Don't know what to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, I would love to know the motivation behind that photo. So fucking interesting. But you are right. Like, people remember the insults and forget the blessings. That negativity bias is a hell of a drug, and it's everywhere. But I don't know. Les would not be swayed by that. Les would be completely fine, and he would just get stuck into what he's got to do next. If you enjoyed that, then press here for the best clips from the podcast over the last few weeks, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.